today, man, I have with me my brother, man. Come on, man. Come on. I keep saying come on, man, because it's almost like a culture shock and education, right? Ydrate. That's what I'm going to say. I would like you to introduce you because that's the way I do it. No one can do it better than you, but I'll say Ydrate.
My name is Ydrate Nelson. I'm the owner of Ydrate Nelson and Associates, also the owner and founder of Be the Greatest University. I specialize in motivational speaking, educational consulting, and greatness life coaching. Also an author of several other books and a whole lot of other things too that go up under my banner. But for starters, that's what you get. And we'll get into a little bit more, I'm pretty sure, throughout the course of the interview.
Oh, you interviewing me? No, real talk though, you all, man. I was fascinated by this story because, and as you know, we're at the Innocence Conference, and this conference involves 260 innocent men around the country, and the lawyers come, so over 1,000 people, and we gather. We're supposed to gather every year. As you know, COVID didn't allow it. Myself, I did 32 years straight in prison with 3 years attached, turned into 35 years innocent in prison for a crime I did not commit. So I would love for you to pay attention to this cause, to what you see here. Along with this, do not confuse the two because everything I do is done in unity. I want you to understand that the Innocent Convicts, and you'll probably see me in that on later, the Innocent Convicts is the place you should go. It's theinnocentconvicts.org. It is the place that we bring all of the founding of the innocence to on my end. But to this interview, the man is here. He socialized with us. He got to see what that experience was like of meeting people who were hollow, meeting people whose souls had been basically stolen and they're on replant status right now. How did that make you feel to have watched television, hear about individual stories, and see the same people that are in these movies? How did you feel about that as we get to you, brother? Because I wanted to know what drew me to you.
I was humbled because I had my own personal battles, but when I saw how many people and the extent of the sacrifice that y'all made, it made me look at what I went through. Anything I ever went through in life was like, man, because it was the most humbling experience. To see what you went through and then to see how loving, kind, compassionate, and trusting and intuitive that you are personally was just mind-blowing to me, because I know the average person would have gone through what so many of these brothers went through.
And sisters. You met a lot of women.
I did. And it was just the love, the kindness, the compassion, the forgiveness. It was just unbelievable, because I think I would have had some kind of edge or chip on my shoulder. But just to see so many people come together with the love, the support, it was mind-blowing. It superseded anything I could have thought, to be around it and actually hear the stories and hear and talk to the people. And it was just so many things you just take for granted on a daily basis. It just really made me appreciate my life so much more, just my freedom, just being conscious, and also understanding that it's way bigger than just me. This cause is so much bigger than me that I know I got to step up what I do to make sure that I use my voice in an appropriate way to support those people who are innocent and they fight to get free.
Well, I would say on behalf of those that are in my situation that have made it home, and those that are still there, this is the most important point. It means nothing. I am free. To me, of course, I could be doing a bunch of other things, and I get it from a lot of people. I should be doing something else, and they say, "What are you doing for you?" I'm doing for me what I want for my people, and I'm not just talking about that. But I want my people to want something for me too, and to make use of me and give me the love that you gave. And now, the reason that I said that I was fascinated, because when you're talking to different types of people, when you hear it from an educator himself who has been out here, the man was Teacher of the Year. Tell us more about just, the ability to be able to teach the youth and where you've been with that.
You know what?
And then we're going to talk about Be the Greatest.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy is I didn't go to school to be a teacher. I was actually working on my business as an entrepreneur, right. And I was substituting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And one of the teachers saw me, and it was really the worst class on campus. They hadn't had a teacher. Multiple teachers quit. And he gave me the opportunity to take over that class. And I didn't even want to do it. I told him no, I wasn't going to do it. And on that last day, a couple students came up to me and told me how important it was for me to be there over the course of the last 2 weeks, for them to see a representation like them in the classroom. And one was a Hispanic kid and the other was a black kid. And I realized in that moment that my place in education wasn't about me. It was about the students who needed to see a representation like me. So I literally went from a part-time substitute to teacher of the year within 3 years, and with no teacher's experience, no teaching background, nothing, just understanding that I had to come in there and serve my purpose and do what I was called to do and make sure that I gave those students the best that I had. And that was days I was teaching, when I first started teaching science, I ended up teaching business and marketing and digital media, which is more of my background.
Okay, hold on. See, that's why I said educated.
Yeah.
But somebody can just drop from, I went from teaching science. Science is a very big subject.
It is. But I knew
science
nothing.
is the most necessary subject.
It is, but the crazy thing is I knew nothing about science. So I would study the night before and then go teach the class the next day. So they would see me excited, but I was excited because I just learned it. I was like, man, do y'all know this?
All right.
You know what I mean? So
more excited,
right?
Yeah.
So it was like, I just learned that when you put in a position and God give you an opportunity, you already qualified before you get there. You just got to know that and believe that to be able to execute in your purpose. So even though I didn't have any background in education as far as in the classroom, I knew how to serve my purpose through, through being a teacher, and that's kind of what I did.
Are you guys hearing this? Are you guys understanding this? That we got black men, any race, young. And the brother has another particular story. I think we'll come back to that, and we'll share that at another time. But that is doing something that advances the future that he may not see. That is a lot. I think that most people are preparing for their futures. I think that most people are stacking what they need for their futures and getting new homes and preparing for their futures. But Ukraine is a prime example that in a troubled world, you can never plan for you. The idea Ukraine is fighting right now, so many people have died. Shout out to Ukraine, we stand with you. All of my people come out of the dark. All of my people, right? And, the people that are fighting are men who never thought they'd fight in their lives. Yeah. The women that never fought. It wasn't the soldiers. These are not the soldiers. These are human beings that never thought that could happen, that are defending their property. But those are human beings that are dying on the street as well, what I think some people are not paying attention to, that are dying on the streets of Ukraine, that their families were shipped somewhere and don't even have the access to know that their father is now dead. You understand that? Yeah. So when you think about that, I look at it as anyone that would educate someone that is going forward and that they know are little and going to grow up, such as the kids playing in the pool. Yeah. These things right here are, and we stay live, you know what I mean? We stay live. And so God always has a way to bring people, children, we're talking about children. Yeah. Anyone that can elevate to the level of passing the baton and not thinking they should run the entire race is valuable to me. And you're extremely valuable, bro. Tell me more though, like when you were educating kids, being teacher of the year, you don't say that, you don't put that, I'm putting it where it should be. And still, brother, I have so much wanting to get into the other things, because they have to know your suffering to know why it's valuable. Don't call it a comeback, but I will say why he still does it. Yeah. But we will shoot another shot at some point with that, because it's all on the team family. Yeah. But to come back from what you came from, health-wise, let's put it that way, to have seen death's door, let's put it that way, and then come back and say, okay, I was teacher of the year, and I still want to educate, and then in the condition you were in, to turn around and still leave behind the idea and legacy to say, I'm going to leave you the words if I can't be here with you. And can I, you all give us a second. Just say anything about that? Yeah. I had to ask. Although we're live and I do what I'm doing, I wanted you to know. My brother here just got off the deathbed, stage 4 cancer. You understand that? Stage 4 cancer. And prepared that if he wasn't here, started writing multiple books of where he wanted to go. And then said, I'm going to leave that behind. He was preparing somebody else. The books were going to do him no different had he not made it. He was preparing to leave the same knowledge that he didn't want to give it all at one time. And then started getting it. If you can't see that vision, Stevie Wonder could see this one. I compliment you on that. I'm behind it. I'm suggesting that you get to it and that you follow the course and start knowing more about it and understand why he was Teacher of the Year, what he thinks about and what he talks about. And more than that, tell us a little bit about the books. Although I said all of that, tell us something that you would like us to know about the book. Because I want to talk about Be the Greatest. There's so much going on with them that I have to go to it all. We're going to talk about Be the Greatest.
Well, yeah, Cultivating a Motivated Mindset. This is the book that I actually use the principles to help me get through cancer. Because when you're battling stuff like that, it's such a mindset thing. So this book was written before I knew I had cancer. But when I got cancer, I used this book, Cultivating a Motivated Mindset, and I used the principles in this book to personally help me
to save his own life.
And there's an additional 12,000 words that go with this book that I haven't even had a chance to put out yet. This book I dropped on my birthday, From Me to You. This is my gift to the world. In the event
from me to you.
Yeah, it says the first line in the book, in the event of my untimely death, this is my gift to you, to the world. Wow. So this is just my thoughts.
Y'all hearing that over there on the sideline?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's an acronym, if you can see the little dot. So firmly rooted, optimistic mind, meditating every day, taking opportunity, years of understanding, the Poetic Express, Volume 1. So I'm just going to keep releasing them until I die, then that'll be the last volume.
Well, let me just cut in right here, right? I hope I got this relationship with God that I believe I have. Yeah. He's the best of planners. I'll never count on a man's plan, a woman's plan, anything that walks that ain't God. So you might be wrong on the plan. I think you'll be here a while, bro.
Yeah. But I was saying, however many I write, I'm going to keep writing them. So hopefully I can get to like 20. My goal was to at least have 10 volumes.
I say 25, 30, 40. Why not?
I want 10 volumes of this particular book, From Me to You series. And then this is the one that also has an album with it. So this is one thing that I did. Just in case, this is something I really thought about too, man. I thought, this is real. I thought that this would be a good picture in case I died. Okay, this is cool. They can have this, And then also, in this book, this is my personal gift to the world. And I also put an album on the inside so people can scan it. And I thought about when people were leaving my funeral, what would I want them to listen to? And I made these songs so when people left the funeral, they could scan this, listen to the songs that I left.
Wow.
In case I didn't make it out.
You know what? Well, see, check that out. That's why God does what he does. I know all about in case I didn't make it out. Guess what? We not only made it out, we're going to make a way for somebody else to make it out.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very different interview. It's kind of like interviewing myself almost. I know what I do, but you're multi-talented.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? And God kept you here and gonna keep you here for that talent, so the world needs it. You might have been on your way out just like I was on my way out. You understand? I was on my way out in there. I'd been in there since I was 18. You might have saw yourself on the way out. We know what that feels like, different than other people. But God saw like, the world went bad again, and now we got so many soldiers willing to go all the way out to do it. That's what happened with us. I know that. But let's get to the main point. Now, beyond that, is there a way that we could play one of his songs while this is going on? We have the Bluetooth thing, but I don't know how much time that would take. If you all would pause with us for a moment, we'd be back so quick that you'd think we never left.
Smile on me. I know that God has smiled on me. I know that God has. I was feeling kind of sick and I needed some answers. I went to the doc, they said it was cancer. Is this speculation? Are you for sure? The next doc came in to confirm stage 4. Total shock. No, I don't want to believe it. I can't leave my wife alone. My kids need me. Doctor report, they getting worse and worse. Break this hex, feeling like somebody's got me cursed. I want to be there for my daughter and my 3 sons. Heaven can't wait, my life is great. I'm far from done. I know I have the moments when I get weak, but I thank God he has restored my perfect peace. I rest well, I don't stress when I sleep. I'm just striving to be the greatest me I can be. All my focus is building up my strong mind. I know that faith and fear can't exist at the same time. I know that God has smiled on me. I know that God has smiled on me. I know that God has smiled on me. I know that God has. I'm so blessed. That's just to see another day before I spin the block on my knees and pray. Kiss my wife and kids, confirm we okay. No excuses, we do this, we find a way. My only mission is to stay alive. Doctors' reports mean nothing when I got God inside. I know for a fact the Most High got me. Ain't no way a cancer cell gon' stop me, not me. I'm not the type to ever give up. We got time on the clock, I never give up. I know God's got me here for a purpose. That's why I'ma keep working to make his investment worth it. I'm faith-filled, confident, no doubt, I'm certain. Give God all the glory and all my burdens. God's got his plan and I know that it's working. That's why until they close the curtains, I know that God has smiled on me. 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 I know that God has.
So, music. This is what we're talking about. Multi-talented, brother. Multi-talented. He was telling you about the book in case of his demise, that you would get the album, you would get the music that he does.
Yeah.
And I'm going, isn't it such a blessing to know that there's no need to read the book on that when the author's here.
Yeah.
God has left the author here. So you get the original version of it. So you ain't going to get to play the song to me from the book, from that plane.
Yeah.
You're going to play the song to us. Right. So you can talk about it and perhaps perform it. So you will find it on the platform. Name a couple that you would like them to listen to that you say, you want to start off with me so that we can have maybe on bumpthatradio.com, get the app, right? Maybe on my platform, the innocentconflict.org. I have a few other platforms. The other platform, man, I got too many platforms. The man running this production knows the other title of the other platform. We'll have all the websites, right? Go ahead, let's hear the voice from over there.
Badboygoodtalk.com.
There you go, badboygoodtalk.com. You know I do the show on that. Why I would not know that? Because I'm doing 30,000 other things. I'm not doing it for fame and just getting to it. We're doing it because we know each one of these things is going to give you somewhere to go in time of recovery. That's our plan. We are part of that system that some would say, like the church, a hospital for sinners. And we're trying to bring everybody in and say, you're not a sinner, you just need a little care, a little love. Yeah. Listen, tell us again, give me 2 tracks that you want them to hear first.
You Are a Star, a song called You Are a Star, Step Into Your Greatness. That was a song that I wrote thinking about the most positive things I can say to my children. You know, and then also there's another song that's called God Has that I wrote one night before I was going to chemotherapy. And I needed a way to channel my thoughts and what I was going through. So I wrote those 2 particular songs. I know particularly right before I was going to chemo, or the day before I was going to chemotherapy. So those 2 songs were really therapeutic for me. But I wrote them to be a benefit for other people who may hear them. You know, to say, hey, even at my worst, I'm going to give you my best. You know what I mean? I'm going through something I don't want to go through, but at the same time, I ain't going to look down on it. I'm going to look up at it. You know, so I wrote those 2 songs. So You Are a Star, God Has, Give Me My Roses. I mean, I have 2 EPs. So if you listen to one, then hopefully you'll listen to them all.
Sure they will. And not only that, I want to give a shout out to all those. I lost my grandmother to cancer, who basically raised me and was my world. And I do a lot of this saying that she always had, you know, my grandmother always had this vision. All she ever wanted, it was weird, but all she kept saying was all she wanted was to see me one day in a suit. And the first time she saw me in a suit, I'm going away for something I didn't do. Ain't that something?
Wow.
So mama, you see me in a suit right now, I'll be out here and I get some good ones. Steph's designing them, and I don't like the way they match the colors out here, but I'm doing them. Right? Shout out to my grandmother. But here's what I'm saying. I'm down with that movement to those that are suffering through cancer. I'm down with that whole entire pink movement, and I'm down with that fuck cancer movement. That's the truth. So I support y'all in that.
Well, you know one thing I learned about that? That's one thing I've never said as somebody who has cancer. And I think I was talking to someone earlier about this. I had cancer, but I never said cancer sucks or F cancer and any of that because when I think about the energy for me to say F something is usually a negative vibration type energy. When I think about what cancer needs to survive, it likes that. If I'm mad, I'm angry, then that means that my body is not balanced and my immune system is not at its optimal point. So when I think about a mean dog in the room, like this is just me. I have this thing with pit bulls. You know what I mean? I don't really like pit bulls, but I wouldn't walk in the room and be like, "Fuck you, pit bull."
Of course not.
Because the dog would attack me.
Right.
So when cancer was in my body, I looked at it the same way. It was like, all right, let me learn to love my cancer because it's a part of my body. Now I loved it out of me. Right. It's just like some people in your family you love, you may have to cut them off. Or some people your circle you love, you may have to cut them off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they may be cancerous. Right. That don't mean you don't love them. They just got to go.
Listen, now that was a note, bro. You hear that note? That was a note, right? They may be cancerous. There are people around us that are cancerous. For us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Intoxication of the mind. They cause a disease in the heart by making us feel low and doing dirt, right? Okay, so I'm still must send a shout out to those people because they have a movement and I'm down with whatever movement that's down with. Yeah. But I get re-educated on it and I'm saying you need to have a movement to love it out.
Yeah.
You can say fuck it and love it.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you love and then you fuck. So this is the real. They know that this is the Bad Boy Good Talk. It's a real show. We don't do no phony over here. So that's the point. If you want to go to something where they rehearse, I do not have a teleprompter that I'm reading the script. You can go watch many other shows. I won't say them. Big national shows, but I guarantee you they got a teleprompter. I don't have no script, no pad, because I know exactly what's going on with anybody I'm talking to. It's the Bad Boy Good Talk, man. Listen, go to bumpthatradio.com. You're going to be hearing about me. You're going to be hearing that music. I'm, in fact, going to do a show. So on my Friday night show, Eastern time would be 10 to 2. I'll extend it. I'm going to play that music. You're going to hear that music. So just understand that. Listen, this has been marvelous with you. If you think I'm going to go, that a man's going to sit in my presence, and that I know have educated children, and his main philosophy has been what's on that hat. There's no way I'm leaving without you telling us about this brand you got. Be the greatest.
Be the greatest you that you can be. You know, it started off a high school speech that I did probably like 6-7 years ago, and the thing was be the greatest you that you can be. Because a lot of people get so distracted by other people, what somebody else doing. If I'm running my race, as soon as I look at you, all my momentum to go forward has now shifted towards you. So be the greatest is about being the greatest version of yourself every day at whatever you do. So it's 3-pronged right now. We have Be the Greatest University, which is where I house all of my educational things as far as like personal, professional development. I have Be the Greatest Publishing, where I house all of my books. And then I have Be the Greatest Apparel, where I have my hats and my shirts and things of that nature. So it's really just a movement to remind everybody when they see it coming, this message is not even for me. It's for the people who will see it. So Be the Greatest is not about me. It's about anybody who may see it as they approach me and they see me. That's my encouragement to you, is to be the greatest version of yourself. Because if you focus on you, that means you don't have time to focus on somebody else. You don't have time to focus on the next man, because you are so focused on being who you were created to be and standing in your greatness that you can't be distracted by somebody else's purpose when you're operating in your own.
Back. You know what? I can never get too tired to do this. I can be tired though, run it. But I can never get tired to do this when I get to the truth. Listen, be the greatest. Don't forget those that are locked away. You're looking at a place where we all were here in Arizona, right? Don't forget those locked away, because I'm out, but there are other innocent men and women still there. Help me in that fight. Join the InnocentConflicts.org. Listen to bumpthatradio.com. Now, some days we laid back. You can call your mama and whoever you're going to call, tell them get the app and come on. And I go into my slow jam sessions on Sunday. Your mama going to kick you out the room because she's my age and we're going to enjoy that. But some days It's Nipsey and my crew. We going hard. It's our station here. You understand that? Shout out to P.O. man. That's the boss man, right? Bottom line is the station is authentic. So they're swearing and you're going to get to swear because the issue is, why are you afraid of language that your children listen to and you don't want to educate them on knowing how to reinterpret it? So it's your job to do that, our job to do that with our youth. We can't block it from them. They're listening to it anyway. Our job is to educate them on it. Look, bro, I tell you what, I don't know about be the greatest because I know other people should do that. I know that you are the greatest because I know you just came off the ring with a serious battle as I did. So we're going to help everybody else learn from our suffering what be the greatest means. But dope, man, you're the greatest for me. Peace, love. It's the bad boy of good talk. I want to tell you one more time who I'm with. Tell them who we with.
Ydrate Nelson, a.k.a. Ydrate the Motivator. But you know what? I think I'm going to change that to Ydrate the Great. How does that sound?
Ydrate the Great. You heard it first here. See, I get those exclusives. Listen, it's the bad boy of good talk. Go to the innocentconference.org and try to give us some support. Listen, bumpthatradio.com. It is one of the hubs. It is the hub of what we're going to do in this expression. But there are many people I want to tell you about. I want to tell you about my man, Ace Black. You'll find out if you're ordering your clothing from anywhere else and you're getting your stuff printed. I respect those businesses, but I'm saying over here,
Hustleman.com.
Come over here and get the fair deal. Come over here. See, that is my involvement. You understand that? Come over here and get the fair deal. And there's nothing that can't be printed here because it's time for me to say, if I got it, I'm bringing it to you. So I was even printing somewhere else and I decided I'm going to bring it home, base it ourselves. Yeah. So we're doing it ourselves over here. What do you guys say, DYI?
DYI.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm DYI and I'm out. But listen, man, love, respect, hustle, Black man. One. Listen, hustle, man. That's what we do. Bad boy of good talk, the innocent convicts. And everything else I know you know I'm associated to, so let's get to it. You know, the DJ Third Eye and the strategist, all of that is still in its zone, but there has to be a hub. And I decided this is the hub. Thanks, let's go. Love, respect. Right.